Bored of staring at Mithril for hours, getting unlucky fishing and actually catching fish? Well, introducing the revolutionary new money-making method everyone already knows about: staring at crops for hours. Why do you want to farm? Well, the benefits of farming are: it requires no skill, and yes, that is ironic considering it comes under the skills tab. Also, you only need one hand for some farms, so I guess you have the other one free for other things. On top of this, there is a leaderboard system. Granted, no one apart from the people trying to get on it check it, but you know, it's there. Oh, and it also gives decent money, which, you know, is kind of the point of the game. Now that you have your sanity in check, it's time to talk about farming fortune. This is a stat which increases the yield of a crop. Higher yield means more money. The main way you increase farming fortune is through the farming skill. And the way you increase farming skill is through farming XP, and the way you increase farming XP is by farming, and the way you farm it. Now that you have no sanity left, it's time to pick a crop. There are a lot of crops to pick from. The one that makes the most money is netherwort, so of course, if you're just starting out, don't farm netherwort. Basically, this crop gives alchemy XP, which stops you from leveling up the farming skill we just mentioned. So instead, we want to farm a crop which will allow us to get a high farming level as fast as possible, allowing us to farm the netherwort. And this is the pumpkins, giving a base 4.5 farming XP for each crop. One slight issue is that pumpkins make so little money, you might end up being that guy begging for coins of the map to support your farming addiction, so farming sugarcane is a good alternative if you want a mix between decent money and farming XP. Now that you've picked the crop you want, it's time to build a farm. Of course, you can build this by hand, or you can use tools such as a builder's wand, infinite dirt wand, basket of seeds, prisma pump, tilling hoe, and magical water bucket to speed up the process. I will quickly summarize how to build a starting farm for each of the crops I mentioned. Sugarcane. Build a trough to hold water every third block, make a pattern like this, and then extend it to the other side using a builder's wand. Make sure to cover the ends of the troughs, and then use a prisma pump and magical water bucket to fill them with water. Place a block or slab at head height surrounding the farm and over the troughs. Also place a block covering the ends of the trough at one end so that it creates a snake pattern as shown. Place the sugarcane on the lanes, and yes, there is no fast way to do this. Repeat this for 3 more layers. Place teleport pads to move between the layers and return to the starting layer, and the farm is complete. Pumpkins. Build a trough every 9th block with a pattern looking like this, and then extend it to the other side. Cover the ends of the trough and again fill with water using prisma pump and magical water bucket. Till the lanes using a tilling hoe and place a block or slab at head height above the 1st, 4th, 5th and 8th lanes. Use basket of seeds to fill the lanes with slabs above them using pumpkin seeds. Place a light source such as glowstone at head height over the water, and the farm is complete. With our new farms freshly made, we actually need a way of farming them, and that's where farming tools come in. Farming is different from the other skills in the sense that there are specific tools for every different type of crop that you can level up in various ways and improve. Think of these farming tools as newborn children. They start off pretty useless, not being able to do anything, but then they grow, mature and develop over time to the point where they work 8 hours a day just to fund your retirement. You can buy these farming tools from Jacob in the hub, costing 1 gold medal. We'll get more into that in just a bit. Before that, I'll mention the reforges and enchantments for these tools so that they can grow up healthy and strong. I really need to stop with this analogy. For reforges, Blessed is by far the best. For enchantments, we want harvesting, turbo crop. This is unique for every different type of crop, cultivating, farming for dummies, and for crops you need to replant, replenish. As well as this, you can level up the farming hoes by upgrading them to tier 2 or 3. The recipe for this is shown when you right click on them, increasing their crop yield and rarity. There are also 2 counter systems on the hoes, unlocked at the higher tiers. These increase your farming fortune as the counter digits increase for the amount of crops farmed, and give an insane amount of added farming fortune for high digit counters, as well as leveling up the rarity of the hoe at 100k and 10 mil counter. You can also recom the hoe, which increases the bonus from the Blessed Reforge. Overall, all these upgrades are quite costly in total, coming to around 35 million coins with everything added. Of course, this is quite expensive, so a good idea to cut costs is to buy a hoe from someone else, as usually they will sell them for around 60% the cost of the upgrades, depending on the supply and demand for that particular hoe. Now let's talk about farming gear. There is no farming gear. However, if we move faster, we can farm more crops. The ideal setup therefore is rancher's boots with speedster armor or another speed set. Obsidian chestplate, young dragon armor and glacier armor all give decent speed boosts as well. The rancher's boots are necessary not only because they give the highest speed boost, but also allow you to set your exact speed, which is great if you're moving too fast to be able to break all the crops. Finally, let's mention farming pets. There are two main farming pets. The first is the epic rabbit pet, giving plus 30% farming XP at max level. You want this pet when starting out as it will help you increase your farming level a lot faster. At high farming level, you want to switch to the legendary elephant pet. This gives a massive 180 farming fortune at max level, greatly increasing crop yields and therefore money earned. Use farming XP boosts to level up these pets faster. I will also give an honorable mention to the mushroom cow pet that gives 1 farming fortune per 20 strength and up to 100% chance to drop mushrooms when farming crops. You need 3600 strength just to match the elephant pet, which is extremely unlikely for most players, and the mushroom dropping ability is known to have been removed and then restored and then bugged from working on player farms, so is just overall inconsistent. At maximum strength, this pet might be better than the elephant pet, but for most players it won't be, so I wouldn't recommend this. Okay, now let's talk about Jacob contests. These are contests unlocked at farming 10 that run for specific crops every hour, giving you rewards depending on how many crops you farmed compared to other players in 20 minutes. If you're in the top 60, 25 or 5% of farmers for the selected crop, you get a bronze, silver or gold medal respectively, which can be traded at Anita next to Jacob for unique farming upgrades and items such as the blueprint, which is used to make the farming hose, and the farm building equipment that I mentioned earlier. However, you need these tools to be able to farm enough crops to get the medals in the first place, and if you think you can just buy them from the auction, they can't be sold there. So you can either find someone selling farming items in the hub to get you started, or you can farm with your current equipment to try to get bronze or silver medals, and if you get enough of these, they can be traded in for gold medals. The other uses for medals are increasing the farming level cap from 50 to 60 and the extra farming drops perk, which gives farming fortune. Once you reach late game and you have leveled everything up, you can sell the spare medals you have to people in the hub. On average, silver medals go for around 800,000 and gold medals go for 1.4 mil, which is decent money in 20 minutes on top of the crops you farmed during that time. Now it's time for general tips for farming. The first tip might seem obvious, but it is important. This is to make sure you're using the farms as efficiently as possible. For example, the sugarcane farm, you want to set your speed to 327 on your rancher's boots and set your angle to 45 degrees on your teleport pad so that you can farm the sugarcane as fast as possible without missing any. The next tip is how you can increase your farming level while not farming. Melon minions give the most farming XP when you collect them. This can be further increased by AFKing on your island with a legendary rabbit pet, which increases your minion speed by 30%. Other ways to increase farming XP include boosted cookies giving a 20% boost, farming XP potions or god potions giving an additional 20%, and electing Derpy as mayor giving plus 50% to farming. Another tip is if you're farming for a long time, it can be beneficial to rebind your keys to more comfortable ones. Changing left click to spacebar or something else can allow you to farm with a single hand for the netherwort and sugarcane farms at least, as they don't require you to turn. Eating a chocolate century cake can increase your farming fortune by 5. Watch out for scams when buying farming hoes. People can recomb a tier 2 hoe to make it look like a tier 3, so always check the hoe before you're buying it. Logarithmic counter is unlocked at tier 2 and collection analysis is unlocked at tier 3, so this is a good way to check what tier the hoe is. Creating a farm for a less popular crop such as cocoa beans can also be a good idea, as you can farm gold medals using this, as they will be much less competitive compared to the other crops like sugarcane or netherwort. That's it for all the farming tips I have for today. I'll see you on the next.